Tool is here for you. It helps you in all you do. It helps you know you do. So tune in and now enjoy the fun. It's time for English, everyone. Studio Classroom is on the air. You can watch it everywhere. English is the way to go. So join us now, enjoy the show.
Hello friends, and welcome to Studio Classroom. We're so glad you've joined us for our lesson today. My name is Anne-Marie.
And I'm Gabe.
And we have a question for you as we start off our lesson today. What do you do to keep your brain sharp?
What do I do to keep my brain sharp? I used to read books more often, but now I listen to more audio books. I just kind of got into the habit. And sometimes I'll actually stop whatever else I'm doing, like if I'm washing the dishes or folding clothes, I'll stop what I'm doing and actually take out a notebook and write down some notes if what I heard I thought was beneficial.
That does seem like a good way to keep your mind sharp. I used to read a lot more than I do now. I wish I had more time to read. Reading is probably the best choice for me to keep my brain sharp.
Anne-Marie, I find it's difficult to do something like reading, especially a physical book, if our kids are anywhere around.
Yes, that's one reason I don't read more than I do. I don't like to be interrupted.
Exactly, nobody wants to be interrupted, right? But friends, what do you do to keep your mind sharp? Our lesson is kind of about that. Well, it has to do with that anyway. We're talking about digital tools for summer learning, because we're going to learn about something that happens to a lot of students during the summer if they're not doing anything.
That's right. Today is a great day to learn something new.
So let's do that together. Digital tools for summer learning. Keep your brain sharp this summer with some fun and free digital resources. Don't let summer turn your brain to mush. While many eagerly anticipate summer as a time for relaxation and hanging out with friends, you shouldn't waste the opportunity for learning fun. The summer slide, a phenomenon in which students experience learning loss during summer break, happens because learners aren't engaged in educational activities. Step into the digital realm and let modern technology take you on an exciting learning adventure this summer.
Hi everyone, welcome to Language Lab. I'm Jack. 首先来看 relaxation 这个名词，意思是放松、休闲。来看几个例句。After a long week at work, Paula looked forward to a weekend of relaxation. 经过一周漫长的工作后 ，Paula 期待着一个放松的周末。或是 Logan found relaxation in the simple pleasure of fishing at a lake near his house. Logan 在自家附近湖边钓鱼的这种简单乐趣当中找到了消遣放松。Relaxation 也有放宽的意思，譬如With the new mayor in office, there has been a relaxation of some traffic laws. 新市长上任后，有一些交通法规放宽了。
Well, we've already mentioned this phrase to keep your brain sharp several times as we started our lesson today. So let's define it a little more clearly. If you keep something sharp, it means that you keep it active or you keep it going at the same level that it has always been at. For example, you could play tennis once a week to keep your skills sharp to make sure that you don't lose what you already know.
That's right. It's not only your brain that you can keep sharp, you can keep other skills sharp as well, right? It reminds me of this phrase from a book. I forget which book, but he talks about, I think it's 7 habits of highly effective people. One of them is to sharpen the saw. He compares our brains to a saw, and a saw is something that should be sharp, but sometimes if you don't use it, or if you use it too much in the wrong way maybe, then it will become dull. That is the opposite of sharp. You want to keep your brains sharp.
That's right. Keep your brain sharp this summer with some fun and free digital resources. Don't let summer turn your brain to mush. If your brain is turned to mush, it means that you're not really able to think of anything. You are maybe really tired or you're zoning out. You can't think very sharply at all.
Now, when might your brain turn to mush? I mean, when does it feel like your brain is turning to mush? I think it's those times when we maybe have a lot of time where we're not actively involved in something. This is part of the reason why work is good for people.
That's true.
Right? Because it keeps you involved doing something with your mind and your body.
I know that my brain turns to mush when I'm watching too much TV, scrolling social media too much, or turning on Netflix for hours at a time. Those are times my brain turns to mush. I don't have to think about anything. Well, we read on here, while many eagerly anticipate summer as a time for relaxation and hanging out with friends, you shouldn't waste the opportunity for learning fun.
That's right, fun in the learning style, right? Because learning can be fun and should be fun. Of course, it's great to hang out with people as well. Used here, I get the idea that you're just going out with people with no expectations or topic for discussion necessarily, right? You're just going to hang out and have a good time and chat about whatever you guys talk about. But let's talk about an opportunity here. There are different ways we could talk about opportunities. The one you see here is to waste an opportunity. That means it's there in front of you, but you don't do anything with it, and then it passes you by.
She had an interview at that company, but she didn't go, so she wasted the opportunity to get a better job. Now, there's other words that we use with the word opportunity as well. You could take an opportunity. You could miss an opportunity as well.
That's right, or maybe you pass up an opportunity on purpose. Well, we read on here, the summer slide is a phenomenon in which students experience learning loss during summer break. Now, you see this phrase summer slide in quotes because maybe it's not an official term, but it does refer to sliding, sliding back, for example. You're not going forward.
That's right. Now, the summer slide happens because learners aren't engaged in educational activities. So what should we do? Step into the digital realm and let modern technology take you on an exciting learning adventure this summer. Let's find out what some of these opportunities are in our next reading.
Digital tools for summer learning. Stimulate your mind with a good scavenger hunt. The geocaching app, which helps you both find and hide little treasures, offers a variety of benefits. Like treasure hunting, geocaching takes you outdoors, gets you exploring, and enhances your navigating skills. You get a small prize out of it. Furthermore, you can leave behind a treasure for someone else to find.
接下来看 stimulate 这个动词，意思呢是刺激或者激发。譬如 regular exercise is known to stimulate the release of hormones that make us happy. 众所周知，规律的运动可以刺激荷尔蒙分泌，使我们感到快乐。或是 The professor's challenging questions were meant to stimulate a discussion of the topic. 这位教授提出这些具挑战性的问题，是为了激发大家对这个主题的讨论。Stimulate 的名词是 stimulation。例如 The debate club provided intellectual stimulation for its members by getting them to discuss their views on complex topics. 这个辩论社让成员们就复杂议题讨论自己的观点，来激发他们的智力。再来看 navigate 这个动词，意思是导航。来看这个例句 ：The sailor used the stars to navigate when he was in the middle of the ocean. 这位水手在海洋中航行时，利用星星来导航。或是 By using their GPS, tourists can now easily navigate foreign cities without fear of getting lost. 游客现在可以透过使用 GPS 在外国城市找到方向，而不用担心迷路。Navigate 的名词是 navigation， 例如 New cars have advanced navigation systems that suggest quick routes and provide updates. 新车都配有先进的导航系统，提供快速路线和更新资讯。
Thank you so much, Jack. All right, friends, let's take a look at this first sentence in this section. Stimulate your mind with a good scavenger hunt. Now, last year we had an article all about scavenger hunts. Maybe you remember if you were reading SC magazine then, friends. But I didn't know there were good scavenger hunts and bad scavenger hunts.
Well, there probably are some bad scavenger hunts out there. And it could mean that they're poorly prepared or poorly planned. It could also mean there's something you shouldn't get involved with. But that's not the kind of good that our lesson means
okay.
here. Right. Here the word good means satisfying. It's used in the same way that we talk about getting a good night's sleep. You want to get a satisfying night's sleep, right? Well, here you want to stimulate your mind with a good scavenger hunt.
That's right. The geocaching app, which helps you both find and hide little treasures, offers a variety of benefits. I like that we've talked about these little things as little treasures here. This makes me think of the things that my kids have hidden in little boxes in their rooms.
Yeah.
They have a lot of little treasures, and maybe to me, they don't seem very special, like little rocks or little cheap pieces of jewelry or something like that. But to them, those are treasures.
They are, and sometimes they will give you a treasure and you look at it and think, oh, what am I going to do with this? But it's kind of cute, right? But we read on here, like treasure hunting, geocaching takes you outdoors, gets you exploring, and enhances your navigating skills. Okay, well, let's take a look at that structure to get you doing something, okay? This means a certain activity or thing makes you go out and do something or causes you to do something. For example, I listened to an audiobook and it got me thinking a lot more on the subject.
That's a good example. Here's another one. Joining the exercise class has really got him moving. He is exercising and moving more because he has joined this exercise class. All right, so geocaching takes you outdoors, gets you exploring, and enhances your navigating skills. You get a small prize out of it, or a small treasure. Furthermore, you can leave behind a treasure for someone else to find.
Okay, well, honestly, Anne-Marie, when I first read this lesson, I thought, man, there's some naughty kid out there who's going to leave a treasure for somebody else. You know what that treasure's going to be?
What?
Something that his dog left behind when they were out on a walk.
You think that might happen?
Somebody's going to do it, right? And if they weren't thinking about it before, now that they've seen our program, you know, somebody's going to have that naughty idea. Don't do that, friends. But let's take a look at this other sentence structure here to get something out of something else, okay? You get a small prize out of it. We can also use this phrase to talk about what you may have learned from something. So for example, I didn't get a lot out of that meeting. That means the meeting wasn't very productive.
All right. Well, friends, we will be right back with our next section right after today's Info Cloud.
Hello everyone, welcome to InfoCloud. Hey Garrett, have you ever heard someone say that watching too much TV can turn your brain into mush?
Yeah, I've heard that expression before. It's often used to describe the feeling of mental slowness or confusion that can come from spending too much time on mindless activities.
Right. Mush describes things that are a soft, pulpy mass or mixture, like cooked oatmeal or porridge.
So when people say turn your brain into mush, they mean that doing things like watching TV or playing video games for too long will affect your thinking.
Exactly. It's a fancy way of saying that you will become stupid or dull.
Now, I have a question, Garrett. Is describing an idea as mushy thinking the same thing?
Yes, mushy thinking is similar. It refers to thoughts or ideas that lack clarity or coherence.
So, if someone accuses you of mushy thinking, they're saying that your ideas are unclear or illogical?
Right. It's often used to criticize thinking that relies too much on feelings and not enough on facts or logical reasoning.
Got it. So, both phrases highlight the importance of maintaining mental sharpness and clarity of thought.
Exactly. But turn your brain into mush is more of a reminder to engage in activities that stimulate the mind and promote clear, logical thinking.
当我们用脑过度或是接受太多的垃圾资讯，会造成大脑无法思考。你可以用 turn your brain into mush 来形容。mush 就是软软糊糊的东西。Turn your brain into mush 就是把脑子变成浆糊，或是让脑子打结，使你无法思考。Watching too much TV can turn your brain into mush。看太多电视会减弱你的思考能力。另外，当一个人的思考模式变得逻辑不太清楚，太过的感觉的导向，你可以说那是 mushy thinking， 混乱的思考模式。这就是今天的 InfoCloud， 我们下次云端见。
Digital tools for summer learning. Project Noah, another app that maximizes your outdoor time, functions like an online science project. When you encounter local wildlife, document it on your smartphone and share your findings in the app. As you participate in missions on the app, you earn rewards for your uploads. Along with findings from your fellow users, your contribution to Project Noah helps scientists with ongoing research.
"最后来看 document 这个字，当动词是记录的意思。譬如 The researcher spent months documenting the flight patterns of birds. 这位研究人员花了几个月来记录鸟类的飞行模式。或是 Isaac decided to preserve his family history by documenting the stories and memories of his grandparents. Isaac 决定通过记录祖父母的故事和回忆来保存家族历史。Document 当名词的意思是文件，譬如 Knowing that Eddie's birth certificate was necessary for her future, Audrey put the document in her safe. Audrey 知道 Eddie 的出生证明将来会用到，所以把它放进保险箱里。
All right, let's continue learning about another app here, friends. Project Noah, another app that maximizes your outdoor time, functions like an online science project. I like this word maximizes here, friends. That means you're going to get the most out of something. For example, she got all her homework done after school on Friday so that she could maximize her weekend. She could get the most out of her weekend. She possibly could because her homework was done.
Yeah, if you ever go on vacation, you want to maximize your vacation time, right? That means make the best use of your vacation time. Don't just sit in your hotel room watching TV. Well, so we read it functions like an online science project, and when you encounter local wildlife, document it on your smartphone and share your findings in the app. We've had lessons about similar apps before. I think it was the iNaturalist app, right?
That's a really cool app, and we've actually used it in my family ourselves.
Well, yeah, we made a little video about
We did.
You know, both of our family's kids doing something with that app, and you can basically go and you know, hold up your phone and use the camera to kind of discover what type of plant or animal you are looking at. And of course, we're looking at something called Project Noah here. And we see in this sentence the word finding used as a noun. Your findings, or a finding, is something that you have discovered or found.
That's right. We read on here, as you participate in missions on the app, you earn rewards for your uploads. So it sounds like there are different missions or objectives that you need to do on this app. And it says here you can choose to participate in these missions. Of course, if you participate in something, it means you take part in it or you decide to do it yourself. Are you participating in karaoke at the restaurant tonight? Are you going to be singing a song yourself? But we read on here, friends, along with findings from your fellow users, your contribution to Project Noah helps scientists with ongoing research. I want to look at that word fellow here at the beginning of the sentence.
All right, fellow users, right? That is people who are using the same thing that you are using. That is a fellow user. We use the word fellow to talk about other things or other people who are doing something similar. For example, we could talk about our fellow classmates if we're referring to the people in our class, or fellow coworkers if we're referring to our coworkers.
That's right. We also see the word ongoing here at the end of the sentence. If there's ongoing research, it means that this research is still happening. There haven't been any conclusions yet, so it is still in the process of being researched.
Well, I understand why Project Noah would reward people for using this app, because if it really is helping scientists with real research, then people should be rewarded for their time. Friends, what do you think? That's all the time we have for this part of our lesson. It's time for today's fun fact right now.
Hello, fact friends. I am Detective Ernest Finder, and I have a fun fact for you today. Did you know that there are more than 3 million geocaches in the world? So if you are looking for a geocache, well, you have a lot of options. 3 million! There is even a geocache in Antarctica. So, you can't have an excuse for being bored this summer. You have 3 million geocaches to go find. You better hurry. You better go. That's today's fun fact.
All right, friends, as we finish out today's lesson, let's take a look at one of our Talk About It questions from our magazine. Here we go. How can digital learning tools prevent students from experiencing the summer slide?
Well, I think that anything that you do to keep your brain sharp can help you stay away from the summer slide, right? It doesn't have to be digital, but I do think that we should take advantage of the devices that we have instead of ignoring them. It's easy for parents to say, oh, don't play video games, and then so therefore they think their kids should not even touch a computer, right? But actually there's a lot of things that kids can learn with a computer or an iPad or something like that.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Kids are going to be using smartphones anyway, so you might as well make it educational. Well, friends, that's all the time we have for today. We'll see you next time right here on Studio Classroom.
At all times, a friend cares at all times, a friend endures at all times, a good friend lasts a lifetime. I am so proud to have you in my life. A good friend lasts a lifetime.